Timbaland has been making neck-breaking R&B joints since I was still wearing nappies, or diapers if you're American. Timbo's beats are known for their insane groove and bounce, and that is something that I wish was still around in music today. That 2000s stuff just hits. So today we're going to get into producing a beat inspired by Timbaland, a bit of Pharrell influence in there, a bit of Neptune's influence in there. You know, it's all good, it's all amazing stuff. So what are the key things we're going to focus on? We're going to focus on the bounce. The bounce is king. Everything revolves around the bounce, so remember that when you're making these kind of beats. We're going to focus on a sense of space and push and pull that Timbo excels at creating in his beats, with all the elements pushing and pulling together to create that insane groove. We're also going to look at some really cool synth tricks towards the end, so stay tuned for that. Without further ado, let's get into it. Timbo is famous for his leads, so we're going to start off with some sort of lead sound. I've loaded up this Analog Lab pan flute. I think we can get something nice and repetitive, and I want it to be hypnotic, you know? That's what Timbo kind of goes for. So we're going to try something with that, and then obviously this is sounding dry AF right now, so we're definitely going to add some effects. We're at 116 BPM, so let's just play around, see if we can get some kind of cool sounding melodies going on. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we've got that lead sound recorded. We definitely need to get some serious processing on there because it sounds kind of like butt right now. With that wobble, we're starting to get a little something. A little something. Okay, let's try and switch it up an octave as well. Just get a balance between those two going. Okay, we've got a nice balance that's fairly upfront in the mix, but it has some effects on it, but it's not super wet, so we have enough space in the background. We're not going to clog the mix up with the lead sound, so I think the next thing to get in there is a bass. Let's do it on the Prophet. We've got a nice sounding Prophet bass. It sounds like this. Okay, I've got a drum pattern. It's like boom, 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 boom. A seriously nice drum groove. So let's send these over to a bit of room reverb. See, that's already brightening them up, livening them up a bit. So without that room, a bit flat. And just giving it that little bit of niceness. Okay, so on those drums, I've added some bus compression, some parallel compression, and a little bit of limiting to get the peaks under control. So without those, it sounds like this. And with them, like this. Just punchy. And I'm also, notice I'm compressing the room reverb, and it makes it sort of like swell up and then quickly cut off, which is really cool. So, next up, let's get some drum loops in, because Timbo loves to put some loops in, so we're going to find some of those. Ooh. Ooh, this loop from Splice is doing bits. Okay, we just need to cut some lows out because it's a bit tubby. And we'll just sidechain this to the kick. Now, I wonder if we can do something interesting, like put a gate on here, or we'll put an LFO tool on here and then get kind of crazy with it. Okay, so with this LFO tool, it's so cool because I've just started creating way more space in the beat for the percussion and the drums and the bass to all interact together. So without that LFO tool that I just put on, it sounds like this. It's cool. With it, oof. The amount of extra vibe and, you know, neck breaking is crazy. Now, I think we can add a sub to the bass part, so let's do that. so we've got a nice juicy sub in there. Now we need those all important main chords. So what are we doing for it? Let's get something from the Prophet. I said we were going to do chords, but I've got this lead sound, so let's see if we can get anything cool in with that in the meantime. Okay, we've got that cool little melody in. We've got in that lovely little melody. Now we'll go for some chordal stuff. Okay, nice and easy. Now it gets to the fun part. Okay, so we've got this nice little Prophet here, which is triggered by this gate. So nothing, and then as soon as you press the MIDI note, it'll trigger the sample. So we can put a cool rhythm in and get something kind of grooving going. Let's try it. Get something going on like these 16th notes maybe. That's kind of cool. Try a different rhythm maybe. And there we go. We've now got a pretty awesome rhythm for our Prophet. Super easy. And then we'll get a big sort of paddier, brassier layer on top of that to accent it. And that should sound pretty sweet. Let's get an analog lab for that. Okay, this is suitably brassy. We've got this like... super easy. I've just sidechained all the synths there to the kick a little bit. Not too much. Now let's arrange this beat out before we see if we need to add anything else in there. Last bar, this will go nice and quiet. Alright, and that'll wrap it up for today. Let's take a listen to the final beat. Thank you for watching. Love you guys. See you in the next one. Here's the final beat.